You survived the divorce, so why do you still feel so lost? No one warns us that the hardest part of getting divorced isn't actually signing the papers. It's waking up the next day and thinking, where am I? Baby, who am I? If you're stirring your coffee and feeling like a stranger in your own home, in your own life, stick around. Today we're uncovering the number one reason as to why you still feel lost after your divorce and how you can start finding you again. Baby, let me tell you a little secret. I have been exactly where you are. Like, why are you letting this happen to me? Why? What's wrong with me? After my divorce, I was completely unprepared for that lost feeling. Baby, one day I was planning vacations, and the next day I was a single mom eating eggs for dinner alone in my home. Not necessarily the glamorous little life I had planned for myself. My friends prepared me for a lot of things. They prepared me for dating, sex, money, but no one prepared me for being lost. No one told me how lonely that lost feeling would actually be. I was used to having a family. I was used to having a husband and a small toddler. I was used to hustle and bustle, going grocery shopping, running errands, doing things for my family. And then all of a sudden one day, it was me and a little boy. And then on the weekends, it was just me. And those were the hard days. The days where it was just me. I felt like my entire life had been stolen from me, but the robbers forgot to take me, and I had no idea what to do next. And I'll be honest, I fell down a rabbit hole of online content that wasn't necessarily the healthiest kind of content to be consuming. And then I started having anxious thoughts about being alone forever and turning into the cat lady. That red pill content, stay away from that. It don't mean nobody no good. Not men, not women, not anybody. But needless to say, I'm not alone. And I don't have any cats. I mean, we do have a little dog, but Max is cool. Side note, just in case you didn't know, I am remarried now. I don't have any additional kids. I still just have the one little boy. His name is Phoenix. He's super awesome. But yeah, I'm not alone. Life didn't end. The world didn't crumble. Things got better. Now, it took a long time for them to get better, but they got better. But in all seriousness and in full transparency, even as a therapist, as somebody who helps people get through tragic and traumatic experiences, I didn't know how to get through this. This was one thing that I didn't prepare for. I tell people all the time, divorce is one of those things that often kind of sideswipes you. You don't see it coming until it's already hit you in the face. But the difference between divorce and a car accident is no one is coming to save you. There's no ambulance, there's no police, there's no one to call, there's nothing to do except figure out what your next step is. And maybe we haven't even scratched the surface of insecurities. There were moments that I spent looking in the mirror just wondering, who have I become? Who is this person looking back at me? I barely recognize myself. Shoot, other people barely recognize me. When I say I was packing on weight like a U-Haul truck, I was eating everything in sight, trying to fill this hole that was in my life and in my heart with food, soda, candy, all the things. Everything except what it needed to be filled with. But the problem was I had no idea what I needed to fill it with. I had never experienced a hole this big before, and I didn't know what to do. And I had a lot of guilt because I'm a therapist. I'm supposed to know what to do, but I didn't. And if you're feeling like that right now, I want you to know, baby, there is nothing wrong with you, and you are absolutely not alone. This is a normal part of the journey, and if I got through it, so can you. The difference is you have me. So let's get into it. The number one reason why so many of us feel lost after the divorce is because we are facing an identity crisis. Think about it. You have been known as a part of a pair for years. There was always a Martin to your Gina, or Gina to your Gina, or Martin to your Martin. Hey, no judgment, obviously. Or at least you had a routine, some consistency, a role in your partnership that provided you some grounding. And then suddenly, poof, baby, that role is gone. It's like one day you take off that wedding ring and all of a sudden you're having to take off your entire identity with it. And I mean, everything seems to be gone. Your identity as a mom, a wife, a partner, and especially all the dreams of the future that you thought you guys were going to have together. Yeah, that's gone too. A big piece of your self-definition just went missing. It's almost as if you've been walking around with a compass that was always pointing to us. And now all of a sudden you're trying to recalibrate it to point to me, but the compass doesn't know how to point to me. So all it does is spin around and around and around and around, and you can't really find your way to anywhere. Not to you, not to us, not to nowhere. And you're stuck standing still, lost. Let's be honest, when you're married, your identities get all braided up into one another. You have your songs, your friends, your favorite meals, your families, right? Because even your in-laws become your family. And then, unexpectedly, unannounced, they're gone too. And I ain't gonna tell you no lie, that's the part that hurt me the most. I missed those people. I had known those people 17 years, and then all of a sudden, the majority of them, poof, gone. And as a therapist who predominantly sees women, I hear all the time, I don't even know what to cook anymore. I don't even know how to cook anymore. So many women find themselves in positions where they're used to cooking for their family, and they don't know how to cook for just themselves. And someone would think that that was a small thing, but when I say that makes a huge difference for a lot of people, it's just another reality check that a lot of things in your life are different. And now you have to rebuild your identity from the ground up. And that's scary, but here's the good news. It's not all scary, because now you have room for opportunity. Opportunities to grow in ways you never imagined. All right, so let's talk about solutions. How do we go from lost to found? How do you find you again? Or how do you discover the new you that's been waiting in the background all this time? I have 5 steps to kick off that journey. Number 1, the most important one, give yourself permission to grieve. Baby, divorce is a huge loss. You're not just grieving the end of that relationship, you're also grieving all the plans you made for your future. And you have to grieve that. If you're sad, be sad. If you're angry, be angry. If you're relieved, be relieved. If you feel guilty for feeling relieved, feel guilty a little bit. That's okay. All of those things are perfectly normal. Let yourself feel it. Cry, scream, get mad, go to a rage room, call your friends, rant to your friends. Listen, stop counting calories, stop counting carbs, eat a little bit of ice cream. If wine is your thing, drink a little bit of wine. That's okay too. But allow yourself to feel those feelings. Acting like nothing is wrong and pretending like you're just going to move on and be a better version of you tomorrow is only setting yourself up, because I promise you, on the other side of all that pretending, that grief is still going to be there waiting on you. You might as well look it in the face and deal with it now. Number 2, rediscover your identity in small ways. When you're ready, start doing little things for you. Think about it. What's something that you used to love that kind of took a back seat during your marriage? Did you stop going dancing, stop writing poetry, stop being curious about fashion? For me, I got married young, so there was a lot of things that I never even got to explore. So what I tried to do was explore different things to find out who I even was in the first place. I met my ex-husband when I was 17 years old. He was 24. That's a different story for another day. But mind you, I was 17 years old when I met him. I barely knew who I was outside of him. So I had the opportunity to rediscover who I was altogether. Baby, during my divorce, I did all kind of things. I tried new food. I went traveling. I had different experiences. Baby, I hopped in a plane and then I jumped out of a plane. And when I say invigorating, one of the best experiences in my entire life. I often refer to skydiving as being baptized by the sky. I went up in that plane scared and afraid, but baby, by the time I got back down to the ground, me and God, I was a new woman, bold, brave, with an entirely new leash on life. Leash? One of them. That moment was redefining for me. It gave me a glimpse into the person that I was going to become later. The vibrant version of me that you see today, fearless, bold, confident. Yeah, jumping out of that plane did that for me. Now, you don't have to go as far as going skydiving, but I do challenge you to challenge yourself, to find yourself, to maybe even find a new you. Number 3, cleanse your space. Here's a practical step. Make your space yours. Baby, after my ex-husband left, I redid my entire house. Everything was brown and neutral and comfortable and fitting for a man and a woman. Well, baby, wasn't no more men in that house, so I didn't have to have things brown and neutral. I bought a pink couch or purple couch. I painted the walls pink. I decorated in flowers, bold things, bright things. I had a yellow wall. Everything that I wanted and never really did for myself in my space, in my home, yeah, it got done. And I did it on a budget. And it was cathartic. Because baby, every time I looked at that dark furniture and them dark dingy walls, it didn't feel like my home. It still felt like our home. And it wasn't our home anymore. That was my house. That was my space. And so I reclaimed it. It was my territory and I took it back. So do some spring cleaning. Throw away or donate things that are too painful for you to look at. Rearrange the furniture, put stuff in new places. If you can afford to, buy some new furniture. If you can't buy any new furniture, buy some new accessories, extra throw pillows in a color that you really love, some extra blankets. Spruce up the place. Make it look like you. There's no need to continue walking into that same home with that same feeling, triggering that sadness. We have to clean that space out. Make it you. Make it look like you. Creating a fresh environment signals to your brain that you're starting a new chapter, and it helps you start feeling in control and in tune with yourself. Number 4, reconnect with support. Feeling lost can be super isolating, so it's really important that you remember that you are not on a desert island, girl. Baby, reach out to your family and friends so they can lift you up. And if you don't feel like you can confide in them, join support groups. They have online support groups with women experiencing exactly what you're experiencing. Because talking to people who understand what you're experiencing reminds you that what you're experiencing is normal. You're not crazy, you're not psycho, nothing is wrong with you. What you're experiencing is normal. You just need to be reminded of that. Plus, if you have the option to reach out to friends, friends are great at reminding you who you used to be, things you used to enjoy. Baby, my friends from college had no problem reminding me, oh, you are this person. Oh, you are that person. These are things you used to love. My friends poured into me in a way that, I got emotional a little bit. But when I say my friends poured into me in a way that I will forever be grateful for, words can't even describe the way that they were there for me once I let them in. Because that's the key. At first, I was embarrassed. I didn't really want to tell anybody what was really going on. I wanted to be strong and confident and conquer it on my own. But baby, that weight was too heavy to bear and carry on my own. And so when I opened the door and I let my friends in, they reminded me of who I am. And I needed that. You need that. You deserve that. Number 5, set a tiny goal. When you feel lost, the future can look like a really big and scary place. So let's make it a little less scary by setting small goals. Not big ones, little ones. It can be something simple like, this week I'm going to go for a 20-minute walk 2 times. Or this week I'll make 1 new recipe. And if you've been out of commission for a little while, girl, if you were staying at home, this week I'm going to redo my resume. And every once in a while, throw in one that excites you, something that makes you happy, something fun. And if you just absolutely have to set a big goal for yourself, set that big goal and then make little tiny goals inside of it, right? So if you want to say, I'm going to lose 50 pounds, right? So start by little bitty things. I'm going to exercise twice a week. I'm going to go for a walk twice a week. Little bitty things inside that big goal so that big goal doesn't feel so massive. And whether you know it or not, accomplishing or meeting those little bitty goals will give you a boost of confidence and identity. You'll start to feel like, I can do this. Yeah, I'm good. I can do this. Because it's proof to yourself that you can build a new life for yourself, step by step. Each small step is like a little bitty breadcrumb leading you out of the woods and leading you towards a new you. So remember, getting back to you is not a one and done sprint. It's a gentle journey. So be gentle on yourself, please. And one day you'll be making your coffee, watching your TV, and it'll hit you. You don't feel as empty as you did before. One day you'll be going for a walk and it'll hit you. You don't feel as lonely as you used to. One day you'll be scrolling on TikTok and you'll laugh and you'll feel like, and it'll remind you, there's still so much joy in this life. Everything is not gone. Everything is not lost. Because now you have a new opportunity to redefine yourself, redefine your life, and become the version of you that you were always meant to be. I really hope you like these tips. Most importantly, I hope they help you realize that feeling lost after divorce is temporary and totally fixable. In fact, you might discover a stronger, happier you in the process. I did. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps support this new channel, and it helps women who need this message find this message. Subscribe by hitting the red button and the notification bell so you don't miss a single thing. And I absolutely love hearing from you, sharing your stories, your comments, your questions. They don't just help me, they help other people experiencing the same thing. We're building a community here, and we're gonna need each other to figure these things out. So comment below, what's one thing you're going to do to reconnect with yourself? Or, what's the hardest part about feeling lost for you? I'll join you in the comment section, and we can all work through it together. Like a community. Let's support each other. You never know, you might just inspire somebody else with your story. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an amazingly blessed day. Mwah!